Imagine, if you will, or allow me, the sound of my voice to be exact, painting you a lovely small tale about my sweet fluffy brown companion with a small tail, complete with the cutest smile and nose, has the world underneath her paws and she doesn't even know. No one teaches her or answers her curious little concerns, except for the lotus flower and her beautiful butterfly friend. When the sun goes to bed and the moon lights her way, she gets to hear a new lesson from the day. As the sun left and the moon rised, Sapphire's mom got everyone ready for bed. Sapphire, pretending to tuck in as everyone else, waiting for the right moment to scurry from the family's burrow once again, to meet her lotus and butterfly friends for her first lesson. The moonlight shined outside the burrow, signaling her it was time, quickly making sure her mom was asleep before quietly scurrying to the surface of the crosswords. Down the blue sparkled path as the moonlight lit her way, carefully entering Micah's garden to the lotus's resting place, the pond. "Hello?" she whispered, looking up at the moon. "How do I call you?" she asked, quietly resting in the grass on the edge of the pond. Suddenly, a slight breeze brushed against her fur, carrying a soft voice. "Look into the water and think of me emerging from the depths of the unknown darkness below, blooming, petal by petal, unraveling and uncovering the answers you seek. This is how you summon me, young one." Sapphire hopped to the pond, a bit closer, closing her eyes, and remembered the first time she saw the lotus blooming before her, then opened her eyes, wondering if it worked. Moments later, the same bubbles from last time could be heard forming and popping again at the center of the moonlit pond. The giant, deep violet lotus rose to the surface once again, like she first saw, hopping back a bit to allow the lotus's petals to overpower the pond, one by one. "You may enter, young one," the lotus called out to her. Sapphire climbed onto one of the huge petals, then hopped her way to the center to the beautiful flower. Once the white butterfly, now a simmering red, stopped Sapphire mid-hop. "Don't be afraid. It's for your first lesson," the lotus whispered calmly, easing her worries as she continued towards the bug. Its wings opened, forming a book, its pages flying open, stopping at the 9 of Swords in the tarot deck, with the words anxiety and fear. The lotus began to speak. "Escape from the web in which you're caught. You have the insect's full support. Truths revealed, journeys to take, drifting dreams, your dreams awake." A young pirate wakes in a cold sweat, nightmares of all the fallen from the wielding of his words and sword. Worried he will have to give up the glory he loves for his peace of mind. Fearful these ghosts of fallen soldiers, both friends and foe, have cursed him for merely doing his job. The queen hires him to take care of criminals among the waters, and going against her, refusing to serve the greater good of the kingdom, is a fate no man wishes to fulfill. But what is he to do? As the moans and screams of fallen men plagued his mind, he managed to drift back to sleep, seeing himself as a black widow spider in a web full of his favorite treat, houseflies, a gift from his owner beyond the glass. Waking up at daybreak, the pirate's nightmares haven't returned since his dream. The lotus finished. "How did turning himself into a spider fix his nightmares?" Sapphire asked. "We can't judge a tiger for hunting its prey. That is what it was brought here to do. Everything can't always be seen from a black and white view. Sometimes things need to be seen in gray, pink, and blue to understand the full scope and truly find a middle ground within yourself." The pirate, being haunted by simply doing his job in the grand scheme of things, found comfort in knowing, even though he and the spider are one and the same, collecting flies in their web, one of the many purposes the fly holds is to be caught in said web, and their owner gifted them this treat to complete that cycle. Though he takes accountability for what he is, he doesn't deny or try to run from it either, only changing how he sees and balancing that perspective within himself. To create balance and keep it as such, a sound mind creates a sound body. The lotus finished. Birds can be heard beginning to sing, early signs that the sun was starting to rise. "Thank you," Sapphire smiled as the book closed on its own. Now go, young one. Lesson 1 is complete. The lotus softly hummed as one of the petals dimmed in color, then turned to ashes. A bit sad, but grateful for the lesson it spared. Sapphire nodded quietly, leaving Micah's garden, hopping back to the crossroads and into the family's burrow. Drifting to sleep to the sound of birds chirping at the sun's arrival, Sapphire dreamt about feeding her new pet, a black widow spider.